Greetings! We are happy to welcome you on the live broadcast of the breaking news on АЛЛАТРА TV. The study of the causes of global climate change is one of the most important scientific and practical tasks.
Today, this episode is of strategic importance for the survival of all humanity, as cataclysms are occurring everywhere and we need to act now. Watch in this episode.
The Canary island of La Palma has been declared a disaster zone. On September 19th, the Cumbre Vieja volcano began to erupt on the island. At least 6,000 people were evacuated. Many of them lost all their belongings. The disaster destroyed about 1,000 buildings and tens of kilometers of roads. New explosions have opened a new crater at the volcano, resulting in increased releases of pyroclastic material. The fiery lava had already covered over 250 hectares of land and reached the ocean. The contact of molten volcanic rocks with water provokes the emission of harmful gases. Watch further about other natural disasters in Spain as well as Italy and Greece.
Hello, this is АЛЛАТРА TV reporting from Spain. On September 23, 2021, heavy rains with hail hit Spain, causing large-scale flooding. Autonomous communities of Andalusia, Extremadura, and Valencia were affected the most. On the west coast of the Iberian Peninsula, over 800 homes, shops, and various buildings were flooded. The hail caused serious damage to the crops. The damage is estimated at €8 million. The streets were flooded with powerful streams of dirty water, and several hundred cars were flooded. 118 millimeters of precipitation fell within one day, which is 5 times more than the monthly norm. Meanwhile, in the municipality of Solqueria Blanca, a new 70-year record of precipitation was set. On September 27th, a powerful earthquake occurred on the island of Crete, Greece. The European Mediterranean Seismological Center initially reported a magnitude of 6.5, but it was later reduced to 6.0. The epicenter was located 20 kilometers from the capital of the island of Heraklion. The depth of the earthquake was small, about 10 kilometers. Unfortunately, there was one fatality, and over 10 people were injured. Rescue operations are continuing. Most people were evacuated from the affected areas. As a result of the seismic event, several communities in the vicinity of the epicenter were affected. Residential homes and buildings were destroyed. Roads, water supply, and power lines were damaged. Trees were uprooted. According to eyewitnesses, the earthquake lasted for a long time, and it was clearly felt throughout the island and other areas. After the main shocks, several aftershocks followed. As of September 28th, seismic activity on the island continues. On September 26th, a force of nature struck the Mugello area in Tuscany, Italy. Strong thunderstorms were accompanied by powerful gusts of wind and large hail. In some areas, about 50 millimeters of precipitation fell within 30 minutes, which is more than half the monthly norm. The hail caused serious damage to buildings and cars. Fallen trees and numerous debris on the roads significantly hampered the traffic. To help people whose homes have become uninhabitable, emergency safety centers have been set up.
After the strong earthquake in Greece, about 40 more tremors were recorded within a day. On September 28, an earthquake of magnitude 5.4 again forced the residents of Heraklion to run out onto the streets. The epicenter of seismic event was located 23 kilometers southwest of the city. According to the USGS, there were 11,606 earthquakes around the world in September 2021. 146 of them with a magnitude greater than 5.
September of this year was also marked by atypical weather events in different regions of the planet. So winter came earlier than usual to the north and west of Iceland. Severe snowstorms caused numerous traffic accidents. Elytra TV reporter will continue the topic of natural disasters.
Hello, this is Elytra TV reporter from Kaliningrad. On September the 23rd, 2021, a storm raged on the coast of the Kaliningrad region, Russia. The wind speed reached 100 km per hour. According to eyewitnesses, the wind was literally knocking them off their feet. Dozens of trees were uprooted throughout the entire Kaliningrad region, which caused traffic jams and several accidents. On September the 25th, heavy rains hit the city of Sochi. Roads, cars and houses were flooded. Due to a sharp rise in the water level in the Bur River, a section of the Jubka-Sochi Federal Highway was blocked. On the same day, while Sochi was getting soaked with rain, there was a snowfall in the mountains. About 12 centimeters of precipitation fell on Krasnaya Polyana, where the temperature dropped to -1 degree Celsius. Between September the 22nd and the 24th, torrential rains continued in the Republic of Dagestan. As a result, rivers overflowed their banks. Entire villages were flooded. The resulting mud flows even destroyed homes on their path. In some places there were landslides and rockfalls. Roads were damaged, some of them were blocked. Some villages were completely cut off from the outside world. Due to the breakdown of power lines, almost 150,000 people were left without electricity. On September the 26th, snow fell in the Kemerovo region. The snowfall was seen mainly in the central part of the region and southern regions. In some areas, fallen trees and branches broken by the weight of wet snow disrupted traffic, caused accidents, damaged cars and power lines. Wet snow also fell in the Irkutsk region. I have been living in Kaliningrad since I was born, and I see how the climate in our region changes from year to year. This is manifested by an increase in precipitation, abnormal precipitation, frequent winds and hurricanes. And I was especially struck by the incredible heat in July of this year. I must say that we haven't seen this for a long time. I would like to add that in such a difficult hour for all humankind, it is high time to understand and realize that inaction is equal to death. But we still have a chance to use the times of change for good. To do this, you just need to stop being indifferent to your own life, wait for help and hope for someone. We have to rely only on ourselves. The time has long come to unite the whole world, make friends, begin to appreciate, love and respect each other for the noble goal of building a creative society, a world where everyone will be confident in the future, protected and really happy. It depends on each of us. Time is running out.
Yes, it is now that we have a chance to implement the creative society. There is no more time for inaction because the climate is changing rapidly. The people from other regions also shared their observations. Watch further in the episode.
Hello, I would like to share that on September the 26th, Kemerovo was hit by heavy snowfall. This phenomenon is not typical for our region. It caused great damage to public utilities, brought traffic to a standstill. There were many kilometers of traffic jams well short of the city of Kemerovo because of the accidents. Trees could not withstand such a large amount of snow. Literally, they were breaking down. The branches broke off, fell on the road and impeded the passage of public transport. The public utilities are still dealing with the damage in the yards. Honestly, we're all shocked. We have no crops, the fields are empty. Many people have roofs on their houses damaged. We have mostly private houses. The shape of hail is different. Chunks of ice are falling. Just pieces of ice are falling from the sky. And it all starts all of a sudden. The sun is shining, the weather is fine, and then, suddenly, the forces of nature come. It's been very scary lately. And the rivers overflow the banks. In general, our situation is not very good. Personally, I also have a private house, and the shed in the house, well, not in the house, but in the yard. In one word, there is nothing left from it. It was smashed for the first time. The second time we put in a metal one. Since the 15th year, basically this is what we have, the phenomenon. Mostly hail and heavy rain. If it rains, it probably lasts a month, every day. Winter became shorter. This is a real phenomenon. Winter became shorter. We have January, we have late autumn, February. This year we have February and March. It was so snowy, it felt like seasons had changed. It was like that. When the forces of nature passed, we had our own farm, we had chickens. We had chickens and ducklings drowned. The foundation of our house burst. And in a word, we had a very big disaster which broke everything. The hail completely broke the shed in the yard. Of course, the car was under the shed, everything. And all our friends, acquaintances, all came, wherever they were. But they all came to us, they saw what, how to do, and we bought the materials. For the physical work was needed. Everyone came, everything was done. When disaster strikes, when hail or something destroys your cattle, your fields, in which you invested your holiday money, and within a year, you invested your money in seeds, potatoes and grain. And as a result, the water washes it all away. There is nothing. The weather has been unpredictable lately. I don't know, they probably don't know themselves. So we have a warning every day that something will happen from now on. You can lose everything in the blink of an eye. It is very scary. That is why I think about why you buy things, invest efforts. And yes, you think a little about other values in life.
If you have witnessed climatic anomalies, send your videos to climate@allatra.tv. On September 26, torrential rains fell in many areas of Sichuan province, China. More than 20,000 people were evacuated due to the danger of flooding. There were also reports of several landslides that hit the provincial highway and disrupted road traffic.
At the same time, tens of thousands of people in India and Thailand were also affected by the effects of heavy rains. The flooding in China's Henan province is covered in details by reporters from Allatra TV.
Hello, this is Allatra TV reporter from Asia. On September 24 and 25, 2021, heavy rains hit Henan province, China. Local rivers flooded the banks. Flood waters caused 15 villages to be flooded. Unfortunately, victims and missing persons have been recorded. Heavy rainfall also caused landslides and landslides. The force of nature destroyed homes, washed away and blocked roads, disrupt electricity and communication. Around 8,000 residents were evacuated.
On September 27, tropical storm Dianmu struck Thailand. Powerful downpours caused severe flooding, which affected almost half of the country. Unfortunately, casualties and missing people have been reported. The flooding has affected over 58,000 families in 27 provinces. Some 70,000 homes are flooded. Many provinces have been declared disaster zones. Local residents in some parts of Chayamphoum province were evacuated from their rooftops. Critically high water levels were recorded in 11 reservoirs and dams. Hello, this is Alatra TV reporter from India. On September 26, 2021, tropical cyclone Gulab struck several states in India. Heavy rains and floods affected the entire central region of the country. Unfortunately, there were dozens of casualties as a result of the rampant cyclone. Some people went missing. In the states of Odisha and Andhra Pradesh, over 180,000 people in over 1,500 villages have been affected. Over 650 houses were damaged. About 50,000 people were evacuated. The city of Visakhapatnam received more than 280 millimeters of rainfall per day, which was more than month's worth of precipitation for the region. This triggered a rise in the Nagavali river water level, which rose almost 1 meter above the danger mark. The states of Telangana and Maharashtra were also affected. The disaster caused immense damage to farming and crops.
On September 29, 2021, a new eruption of Kilauea volcano began in Hawaii. The U.S. Geological Survey raised the danger level to the highest. Residents of nearby towns on their own left the territories in the risk zone. Increased seismic activity and changes in the nature of deformation of the soil were recorded nearby the volcano.
It is worth noting that earlier, on August 24, the Hawaiian Volcano Observatory also recorded a series of earthquakes under the southern part of Kilauea caldera, indicating the movement of magma in the bowels of the earth. A reporter from Alatra TV in Brazil will tell you about natural disasters in other countries.
Hello, this is an Alatra TV reporter from Brazil. On September 25, 2021, a tornado was recorded on Margarita Island, Venezuela. In the municipality of Diaz, powerful whirlwind tore the roofs off of several dozen buildings. Footage of the tornado was filmed by eyewitnesses. On September 26, a powerful dust storm struck several cities in the state of Sao Paulo in Brazil. Hurricane wind, with gusts up to 100 kilometers per hour, tore the roofs off of buildings, tore down the power lines, broke trees, and demolished the furniture of street cafes. It is worth noting that the region has not had rain in several months and is experiencing a drought. Strong winds in areas with extremely dry soil raised dust and vegetation up to 10 kilometers high. It was reported that this phenomenon is not typical for that region.
In addition to widespread natural disasters, the situation on the planet is also growing worse because of the ecological crisis, which, unlike cyclical climate change, is caused by human activity.
Critical shortages of all kinds of resources are increasingly affecting people's lives. For example, 2 billion and 200 million people do not have access to safe drinking water, and 4 in 10 people suffer from shortage of clean fresh water.
According to the World Health Organization and UNICEF, at least 1 billion and 800 million people worldwide have to drink water contaminated with feces. About 300,000 children under the age of 5 die each year from diarrhea due to inadequate sanitation, poor hygiene, or unsafe drinking water.
Worsening water scarcity leads to mass migration, conflicts and wars. There have already been more than 460 clashes related to the distribution of water resources, including armed ones. And these conflicts are drawing other regions that have not previously experienced difficulties with fresh water resources. In the consumer format of society, the negative consequences of the depletion of the Earth's resources affect all people without exception.
Only an honest, complex, comprehensive review of the external and internal factors that affect our planet can lead to effective solutions. especially now when the conditions for every human being on this planet are becoming increasingly unfavorable.
Those rays that are coming, let's put it this way, the energy impact that is coming from nearby galaxies, from outer space, is expressed not only in radioactivity, it is also expressed in a very powerful energy impact. Moreover, this impact occurs not at the macro level, but at the micro level. This is very destructive, and it causes severe mutations. As of today, it has already been confirmed by many scientists that trees massively begin to emit more carbon dioxide than oxygen. And this is something to think about. Those very swamps, due to climate change, due to global warming which is increasing, what happens to those swamps? They begin not to purify, but to create very dangerous chemicals. In other words, again, instead of emitting oxygen and absorbing carbon dioxide, swamps begin to emit compounds of gases that were not even there, and they did not emit before. And this is exactly what increases global warming, not just CO2. I don't even mention the ocean. Oceans are dying, everyone knows that. As for lakes, which are again far from ocean, however, due to these thermal changes, lakes undergo very rapid mutations as well. And instead of purifying something, they start contributing to pollution too. It's true. Why? Because right now we don't have a single lake or body of water with clean water anywhere. Isn't that so? Everywhere there are impurities. Excuse me, even in mountain rivers which are historical, which flowed because of melting glaciers, people now find microparticles of that very plastic. A simple question. And plenty of various chemicals and chemical compounds. That's in water, which is supposed to be crystal clear. Well, it's no longer the case.
Humanity is now in a critical situation. Political, economic, social, environmental and other crises which are growing worse because of global climate change. And no country can solve all these problems on its own.
We all need to take a sensible look at the current situation. Consider the cause and effect links between the various crises and the impending global catastrophe in order to eliminate the root cause and ensure a safe environment for all people on the planet.
Excerpt from the International Conference Global Crisis. This already affects everyone.
Conference was initiated and implemented by volunteers from 180 countries of the world. It's been simultaneously translated into 72 languages to give an opportunity to millions of people to hear. This is life-saving information. And for the first time in history, we hear the truth about the real situation on Earth, scientific truth of facts, and this information is given to us in order to help us make the right choice.
Every 12,000 years, our solar system crosses the region of intergalactic interactions in the Orion Arms at the near and far interaction points, which means that there are a large cycle of 24,000 years, the near point of interaction, and small one, 12,000 years. Every 24,000 years, more catastrophic destruction occurs. Now it will be the near point of interactions, which means that the cataclysms will be many times stronger than in the past 12,000 years. Getting into the points of intergalactic interactions, our planet Earth comes to the region of increased galactic radiation.
Solar minimum dip. This renders us absolutely helpless against the deadly radiation. This is related to the position of our planet in outer space. At the moment, the solar system and the Earth are moving throughout the Orion arm of the Milky Way galaxy. And this destructive force are influencing the earth, which leads to the destruction.
So there is a world crisis, but that consists of different things. And I fear our world will be falling apart because pretty soon we are not going to be able to get it with all the will in the world.
Everyone's life today depends on people's awareness. The extreme situation on the planet shows that mankind is at dead end.
So it is not the president of the country, or the prime minister, or even a great scientist, or a doctor of science who creates peace. When each of us changes for the better, the world is changing too. The world will change. Governments will change. And citizens will change.
The number of these motivated people around the creative society is increasing. This project will be reinforced on a continuous way by all these people who will join the project. And for artisans, now is the right time to change the consumeristic habits of our society, to be more sensitive vis-a-vis the problems of our society, and try to discuss them, to spread this interactive environment to the whole people which are part of this world.
Watch the full version of the conference, Global Crisis, This Already Affects Everyone, on alatra.tv and alatraunites.com websites.
On December 4, 2021, at the Universal Conference Global Crisis, Time for the Truth, we'll bring people from all over the world together on one platform so that everyone can learn the whole truth about planetary catastrophe.
It is possible to find a solution, but only together, uniting all of our human potential. By informing all people on the planet about the present threats and the real way out of the deadlock of the consumerist format of society, humanity has a chance to implement a creative society.
You can learn more about creative society at alatraunites.com. Thank you for being with us today, and see you soon on ALLATRA.